sitting back a bit so that I'm not in the face.
And then I'm gonna go for live stream now. I'm pressing live stream. Okay, so welcome to our LinkedIn Live summer series, How to Be a Leader in Today's World. Now, over this summer, we thought it would be great to be sharing with you the complexity and challenges of leading in today's world. And we have 5 episodes installed for you this summer. So our first episode, How Do You Show Up in Today's World as a Leader, really sets the stage of our journey. And we would delve into the importance of self-awareness, authenticity, vulnerability in leadership, and explore practical strategies for building trust, fostering inclusivity, and driving meaningful change. So hopefully you're all rolling in as we're talking here. And just if you haven't joined any of our LinkedIn events before, my name is Pernille Baumann, and I come with more than 28 years of leadership experience in the international luxury hospital industry worldwide. And I couple that with over 10 years of coaching experience. I bring sort of a unique blend of practical wisdom and coaching finesse to the table. I'm a MCC coach with the International Coach Federation. I'm a high-performance coach, facilitator, and a consummate hotelier. And with me today is Lisa.
Hi, everybody. I'm also ICF certified professional coach with over 20 years of industry experience. Qualified as a coach over 5 years ago, and I've just really had the privilege of working with a wide range of senior leaders from a variety of industries. Just really fascinated how we all learn, how we develop, and how we adapt to different situations. I'm just really committed to leaders' success.
Brilliant. Thank you. So as facilitators and coaches, we're really, really excited to share our expertise and insights to help you navigate the ever-changing landscape of leadership. So throughout the series, we will be answering industry questions from all of you out there who are calling in today. So please send us any questions you want us to answer. We also will be sharing real-life examples and providing actionable advice to help you develop the skills and confidence you need to lead effectively in today's world. So join us for each episode as we explore the latest trends, best practices, and innovations in leadership, and discover how you can make a lasting impact in your organization and your community. So enough about that. Let's dig in and start with some of what at least I perceive as key concepts that we need to really be able to master as leaders and often tend to forget or oversee. And that's clarity, self-awareness, and vulnerability. And maybe it's the coaching side of me that's taking over here, but these are really non-negotiable and fundamental, if you ask me. It's quite interesting. When I speak to senior leaders, and I'm sure you have the same, those of you who are attending today, and you can nod to this. When I work with senior leaders and I ask them early on in the coaching relationship what they perceive as key concepts leaders really needs to master, I always hear things like financial and business acumen, or organizational development, operational understanding, negotiation. I even hear languages is important. But what then happens is once we're into the engagement, the coaching engagement, I do see a change in view and mindset from these leaders, because while functional expertise and business acumen really still remains very, very important, soft skills are now really seen as, you can call it power skills that enables leaders to thrive in today's really complex, fast-paced, and people-centric business environment. That's why sort of investing in soft skills development for leaders at all levels is super critical in my view for organizations looking to build agility, to innovate, and to create high-performing teams.
Yeah, I think just to add on to that, Pernille, I think, you can attend courses, can't you? Where you learn to negotiate, you learn to develop all of those hard skills that we need to have as a leader. However, fundamentally, it's those inward skills and how you develop as an individual that will differentiate you as a leader.
Absolutely.
So how you show up, and how you as a person are actually interacting with your team, how you are developing your staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think those can be taught necessarily, but can be developed, by self-awareness.
Yeah, absolutely. So why don't we start with we'll get to self-awareness because that one is important, but let's start with clarity, as clarity is really the foundation of effective leadership as I'm seeing it. When we're clear about our vision, our values, our expectations, when we're clear about how we act and react as leaders, we create a sense of direction and purpose for our team, and we're able to create, how can you put it, calm in the rough sea. Now, in our coaching programs, Lisa and I, we work on clarity of situation, clarity of team, and clarity of you.
Yeah, it's around that clarity that helps us really communicate more effectively, so that we are clear on the direction that we're going, and that then can avoid misunderstandings. It helps us understand ourselves, I suppose, and how we think, how we see, and how we talk about certain things.
Yeah, exactly. And when we understand how we act and react, when we understand how we set clear goals and priorities, we help ourselves and our teams focus on what is truly important. And that's what makes progress towards shared objective. And let's face it, we're in the people business, but we're also in the business. So
yeah, it just makes a huge difference, I find. When we're clear, when we're focused, and I suppose have laser focus, our teams then feel more confident in themselves, of what they need to achieve, in you as a leader, and then that motivation comes, and we're able to achieve so much more.
yeah, absolutely. Clarity is so essential for building trust and credibility with our teams, isn't it? And when we're clear, we demonstrate that we are committed to our goals and willing to work together to achieve them. We also understand our own reactions better and how we may come across, which is so important for leaders.
Yeah, and it's not just about us and the team either. I think it helps us build credibility right across the board. So with those key important stakeholders, which also then include our customers, which is that is going to bring us the profit, and also those investors.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And it's key to building a strong reputation and establishing ourselves as leaders in our industry. And again, I say this again and again and again, we're in the people business, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So then, Pernille, what do you think is the most important thing for leaders to keep in mind when it comes to clarity?
Well, I think it's essential to remember that clarity is not just about communicating what we want to achieve, but also about being clear about who we are and what we stand for and who we're working with. Clarity on how your team works, strengths and weaknesses, likes and dislikes are equally important, I feel.
So you mean like being that completely transparent,
Yeah.
being clear around values and purpose, so that we can create a sense of direction and propose for our teams. And I suppose as well that it creates that sense of belonging, because you feel something part of something bigger.
Yeah. And I mean, this part of belonging is a big part in engagement, what makes a person engaged, yeah. And let's face it, most hospitality organization these days measure engagement, and it's, do I feel that I belong? Clarity is essential for effective leadership, I would say, and being clear about who we are and what we stand for. We can build trust and credibility with our teams and stakeholders, as you said. We can't forget the stakeholders. It's not just about the little group around us. It's also to the outside world, yeah?
Absolutely.
Now, another important thing, and you started by mentioning this, is self-awareness, yeah? It's really a foundation of effective leadership that goes hand in hand with clarity, I would say. I don't think you can do one without the other. When we're self-aware, we understand our strengths, weaknesses, biases, triggers, reactions, you name it. And this allows us to lead with intention and make much more informed decisions. So self-awareness can really make us, you know, cringe sometimes. And if you're sitting out there thinking, oh no, I don't like it, you're not alone. It can be uncomfortable when you first start working on self-awareness, but it's fundamental to be a whole person, I think.
Yeah, you can't improve upon or you can't change anything if you don't know what it is that you need to need to focus on. And you know, I think self-awareness, it enables us, and here's this popular word that we all use, to be more authentic in our leadership, to be who we truly are. And I've found that when we're authentic, when we're able to be ourselves, we can connect with people a lot easier, a lot more meaningfully. We can connect with our teams on a deeper level. And that, you know, that key again, building trust. We're able to build trust and inspire them to follow us. Because as leaders, we want people to want to follow us. We don't want to have to drag them along because it's something that we want to do. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. And then we have, so self-awareness, clarity, and then we have vulnerability. Again, another one. It's sort of almost a triangle of the three, isn't it? And it's a key component of, and you just mentioned it, authentic leadership. And I know we've spoken about authentic leadership until, you know, the cows came home, but it is an important thing. It's about being willing to share our struggles, our doubts and mistakes, create a safe space, for our teams where they can do the same, but they are not going to do it if we're not authentic and transparent and open. And by doing this, you know, we foster a culture of openness, we foster a culture of collaboration and continuous learning, which is so important. So for a leader, it's important to role model this. If we can show our doubts and concerns, then our team will learn that it's okay not to be 100% all the time. And this is often a struggle for many.
Yeah, I know. I really struggled. I'm being vulnerable now. I really struggled with this early on in my career. It took me absolutely ages to believe that vulnerability wasn't a sign of weakness. But it actually is right. It is a strength. It can be a superpower, you know.
A lot of leaders comes with that and saying, oh, but I don't want to look weak. I need to have all the answers, especially when there's a crisis. And it's getting them to shift that mindset that no, it's actually a strength, because we didn't come with a cape. We're not Superman or Superwoman or super whoever, super it. We are just human, yeah.
Yeah, it like it does show that we're human, that we're willing to take those risks, ask for help, and that we're committed to our own growth and development. And I think if you then, you know, show that vulnerability, it opens up avenues for more collaboration. And then again, there's that engagement because people feel that they are supporting you and others and feel part of something bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I actually think it helps us build trust with our teams, and trust is so important. Now, let's talk about some practical strategies for building trust and drive meaningful change. What's your take on this, Lisa?
I'd say the ability to build trust and really hold trusted relationships is one of the most fundamental foundations of leadership, because I think without trust, relationships crumble. You know, they start to break down.
Yeah. So true. And I think it's true both inside and outside of work.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you think of someone that you might not particularly like, or you don't like to work with, and then dig a little bit deeper as to why, I would say 9 times out of 10, they've probably done something to imply that you can't trust them. It's human nature. So then you get that doubt about them. Are they being themselves? Are they telling the whole truth?
Yeah.
And that's where then you're not fully committed. And I think we've got to be aware that trust isn't something that you have automatically, or you're just given on a whim. You've got to earn it.
Yeah, I agree. You absolutely have to intentionally build trust, and also extend trust to those around you in order to build these strong teams that we're all striving towards creating. Yeah. I once worked with a leader who really didn't trust anyone. I wasn't reporting to him, it was somebody on the team. And he always hid behind the fact that he had once trusted someone that had let him down. And therefore, nobody was worth being trusted. So now he just categorically just didn't trust anyone. And he was very difficult to work with for many because of his attitude towards trust. He was sort of micromanaging a little bit. As leader, we need to extend trust. We need to believe the best in people on our team. It's about empowering your team and show them you trust their abilities. Give them the autonomy to make decisions and complete tasks independently, rather than going into this micromanaging, which can become quite, and here's a new industry word, toxic.
Yeah.
And then recognize and celebrate your team's successes, and then look at redirecting where things didn't go to plan. Because we have to remember, we need to fail and go through a bit of failure to move forward.
And I'd say, Pernille, that if as I said, I think it's the foundation of a relationship. So if anybody's listening and they have got those challenges with trust, I think that's creating that self-awareness that is a challenge for you. Is the first step, and then working on that, because if we don't, we will end up micromanaging and you won't reach the full potential as a leader. In fact, I would say we're probably not going to be able to lead. It's as severe as that. But I think earlier, as you mentioned earlier, we do again need to be transparent and be open. We need to have that clear and effective communication. And I was looking at some research, and according to Ken, I can't get my teeth in, Ken Blanchard, it shows, he shows that there are really 4 key elements that are needed for trust to be present. And if one of those isn't present, that's where then the jigsaw can't be complete. And he calls it the ABCD of trust. And I'm happy to go just quickly through that if we think we've got time.
I think that's a good idea.
Right, so the A is being able, so demonstrating that you're competent in the role, your ability in the role, using the initiative to solve problems, solution focus for the greater good of the team. So people want to learn from you, so you've got to be able to walk the walk, talk the talk. The B being believable. If you're believable, you've got integrity. Admitting when you're wrong. I know it's quite difficult sometimes to do, but admitting when you're wrong and just not putting others down or discussing others' business behind their backs. Confidential is absolutely key for trust. And when someone tells you something that's private, it's your ability to keep it in the vault. And that means, keep it to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, gossips can't be trusted. By doing, you sort of instill a sense of safety in others and credibility to do the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you heard speaking out of turn or whatever, that can ruin all of the trust that's been built before. Just on that little thing. dependable, quite simply do what you say you're going to do,
Mm.
be accountable, honour the agreements that you've made.
Mm.
And one thing I am really passionate of, just be on time, be punctual. I think being late is a sign of disrespect to many. And you may be okay with lateness yourself, or you might be quite relaxed about it, but
Mm.
others may not be, and
Mm.
it can ruin trust that's already been established.
Yeah. And
And
I
I
think
know,
we missed out on the connected.
oh, I've gone A, B, yeah, sorry.
That's okay. So I guess connected is just about leaders who are connected. They, care and really,
Mhm.
care about others deeply and profoundly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think then, it's back to that vulnerability, being empathetic, openly praising others, and, for doing a good job. Being very intentional about developing those key relationships.
Yeah. 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 Now, I remember I think it was you who showed me actually this
Mhm.
survey, and correct me if I get the numbers wrong here, but it said that 91% of first level leaders are confident that they have trust of their team, but a shocking, I think, was it 58% of employees would trust a
Yeah,
stranger over their manager. I mean, that's shocking, yeah? Uh,
yeah.
imagine,
There's a disconnect
especially when
there,
you
isn't
think
there?
about how we're brought up with don't trust strangers, blah, blah, but 58% would trust a stranger over their manager. So how do you know if your team trusts you and each other for that matter, Lisa?
Well, I think it's hard to know for sure. Apparently, obviously with that survey there,
Yeah.
but for me, I think you can see it in the fabric of the culture.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
how the culture that's been fostered and how everyone really interacts with
Yeah.
each other. Um, if you're a leader or a manager listening today, you might be able to take a few moments to reflect on yourself and your team, and ask yourself, how open are they with each other? How
Mm.
open are
Mm.
you with
Yeah.
your team? Do they talk about their weaknesses or mistakes to one another,
Mm.
or
Mm.
do they keep them quite guarded in fear of
Mm.
um, people not looking on it favourably?
Yeah.
Are they willing to say sorry, apologize when needed?
Mm.
Are they genuine and unguarded in meetings? Are
Oh
they all
God.
themselves?
I've been in meetings where, it was so obvious that something was going on. It was so sterile almost, the meetings.
And
Nothing was said out of tune.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I remember being with an organisation, and it was very early on in my career, but I remember thinking I needed to be someone else in a meeting, and I
Mhm.
got so tied up that
Yeah.
I didn't give any ideas or opinions because I was
Yeah.
trying to conform.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it didn't serve me at all.
Mhm.
Um, so just look for that, and encourage people to be genuine.
Yeah.
That it's okay to say what they feel
Mhm.
and think.
But I
Um,
think that point is actually an easy one. Go to your next meetings for all of those listening out there. In your next meeting, go in and take a look at the temperature in the room. Are people speaking freely? Are there certain things that's not said but discussed after the meeting because they're scared of bringing it out in the bigger public? I think it's such a great indicator and so easy to go in and see, because we all have meetings all the time. Yeah, Zoom meetings. Are everybody on blank screen, or are they actually willingly there sitting participating? It's a very easy one to go in and see
yeah,
if there's trust amongst the team.
and looking to see if the body language is congruent with
Yeah.
what's coming out, being said vocally.
Yeah.
Is it quite guarded, but yet they're trying to pretend, I suppose, that everything's okay.
Yeah.
But I think also you can do that by asking for help as well
Yeah.
yourself,
Mm.
and input regarding areas of responsibility.
Mm.
Um, I've said yes, capable is one of those. You do need to show that you're able, but by asking for others to help you with parts of your role, you show that it's okay for them to ask. as well. So it's that key part of development and showing that vulnerability. So yeah, just look for the signs, I think, and make those steps to nurture it where needed. But you are the role model.
Yeah. I mean, if everybody is completely comfortable in being open, give their opinions, disagree when needed, comfortable to say, I screwed up, or ask for help. You get clarity of who you are and who your team really are. Self-awareness is heightened and the vulnerability, is appreciated. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, if anything, if you take anything, away from this, that clarity piece is key, self-awareness, but, just be you. And be mindful and intentional to build trust, because it'll take you on a stronger path. And I think, Peniel, talking of being on time and dependable and doing what you say that you'll do, I think we are near to sort of the 30-minute mark. So let's, I think, practice what we preach and start to round up the session.
Yeah, absolutely. This does conclude and bring us up to the end of our live session today. And we appreciate everybody who tuned in. And remember, you can always find us here on LinkedIn if you have any questions or want to continue the conversation. You can also email us should you have any particular questions you would like us to answer in our next live event. And we will be more than happy to do so. So our next episode is on Tuesday, July 9th at 9:30 GMT, 10:30 Central European Standard Time, Summertime, 4:30 p.m. Hong Kong time, and 4:30 a.m. New York time or Eastern Standard Time. And there we will actually dig in a little bit more into the world of clarity, because it is such a fundamental thing in leadership. So until then, stay curious, stay resilient, and stay prepared, and see you on the 9th of July.
See you on the 9th. Bye.